Does Christianity have everyone under a magic spell? Do they have us doing a pagan ritual? We will answer these questions once and for all. So let's begin in Deuteronomy 12, verses 30 through 31. Take heed to yourself that you are not ensnared to follow them after they are destroyed from before you, and that you do not inquire after their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods? I also will do likewise. You shall not worship the Lord your God in that way. For every abomination to Yah which he hates, they have done to their gods, for they burn even their sons and daughters in the fire to their gods. Leviticus 17, verses 10 through 12. And whatever man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who dwell among you, who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the soul. Therefore, I said to the children of Israel, no one among you shall eat blood, nor shall any stranger who dwells among you eat blood. Deuteronomy 12, verse 23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. So now let's take a look at what these other nations did in the eyes of Yah that was very abominable, that he hated, and that they had done to their gods. So in ancient Greece, the Dionysian rites. This is, in some mystery cults of Dionysus, participants symbolically or even literally consumed the god through wine, an ecstatic experience. The wine was Dionysus, and drinking it was a way to internalize his divine essence. This sometimes involved ecstatic possession, where worshippers would lose themselves in the god. In ancient Egypt, Osiris, god of life, death, and rebirth, was dismembered and scattered, then reassembled. His myth was tied to the grain cycle, and consuming bread made from grain was symbolically consuming Osiris. This allowed believers to partake in his immortality. Aztec human sacrifice and ritual cannibalism. After offering a human heart to the gods, the flesh of the sacrificed was sometimes ritually consumed. This wasn't for nutrition, but to unite with divine power, to eat the god. This was all union with the divine. In these traditions, eating the god wasn't symbolic alone. It was often a real mystical or magical act of union, transformation, possession in the sense of being filled or overtaken by the deity, immortality, or divine identity. Now let's get a refresher on what Yah says in Deuteronomy 12:23. Only be sure that thou eat not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Now let's see what Jesus in the New Testament says about drinking blood and eating flesh. And we find that in John 6, verses 53 through 56. Then Jesus said to them, most assuredly I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is food indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. He who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me, and I in him. Matthew 26, verses 26 through 28. While they were eating, Jesus took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, take and eat, this is my body. Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. And once again, let me remind you what Yah says in Leviticus 17, verse 10. And whatever man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who dwell among you, who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people.